Everybody's kind of in their own little world right now, and I just thought I'd give you a glimpse into what's happening here in the chicken yard. This is the chute where I've got some compost that can go out. It's probably somewhere around 4 to 5 months old. It's not quite finished as far as what I would like to see, but it's certainly good enough where it can go out and be used to top dress some of the trees and other perennials that I've got, where I want to give them a little bit of shot ahead of some of the storms that are going to be coming in later this week. Got a few hens over here that are keeping a close eye on my activity over here, because as I dig into this pile, it unearths different things that they're interested in. So these more dominant hens are over here kind of staking claim to this area. I've already taken out probably at this point about a yard. Every 6 wheelbarrow loads is a yard. And so I'm taking another wheelbarrow out this morning. Got some dust bathers over here kicking it. And then I've got the remainder of the hens that are out here are either laying eggs or they're working their way in between these 2 coops. These feeders that I've put in have been working brilliantly, and how they tend to these hens is I've got them set up now to drop their feed in the evening. So at 7 p.m. these feeders give them a dose of feed, and so by morning up until about noonish they've still got feed to snack on. And then of course there's hens finding their way into these little nesting boxes to drop us some eggs. I switched out the watering cups that I had, and now I've got these little nipples which work much better. I had to raise this up just a few inches to get it up elevated a little bit further. These watering wands with these nipples, and the chickens just come up and get the water from these nipples as they work them like that. Here's one of those feeders that I just filled up about 2 days ago, and this will last for no less than 10 days. So since I've had this system in place, I've only had to fill this up 3 times. And like I say, I've been very happy with how it's been dispensing the feed, and they don't seem to have any problem with it either. It's going to be leaf season soon, and I'll have a tremendous amount of leaves to incorporate into this space. And so as the material comes in, it's constantly going out as well. But I've got a pile kind of established over in this area, and all along around the periphery of this, if I were to dig down, I mean there's deep organic material all around these piles that I continually kind of fold back on top, and then the chickens kick them down. I've got 35 young little chicks getting ready to be pullets in this area, and these are a mixture of Novagen browns and Novagen whites. We've been very happy with the Novagen browns for the years that we've had them. They're very productive egg layers. The Novagen whites are supposed to be productive as well. Not quite as prolific an egg layer as I understand, but I've never actually had the Novagen whites. One thing that I'm noticing with them is they're a little bit kind of leghornish as far as their temperament. They're a little bit more skittish than the Novagen browns, and then you can see they're also a little larger in size as well. But yeah, they're getting along pretty well. You might notice some of the tail feathers on these chicks are purple, and that's because they were pecking each other a couple of weeks ago. I had noticed that they'd started to peck. And whenever they draw blood in that fashion and they're very young, you know, oftentimes they'll just think it's something for them to eat, and they'll just continue to peck on one another. And so I do have a couple of products that I have used. I have one that I prefer, which I'll show you here in a moment. But yeah, just a closer look at these birds. Looks like they've got a leaf over there. They think it's something good. So I'd put these chicks in here a couple of weeks ago, and they were not quite as big as they are now, and somehow they figured out how to get through some of this barrier that I've got down low. And I had a number of them, probably about a dozen or so, that had made their way out of the coop. And what was interesting about that is Rebecca and I had just stepped out of the house, and I had heard the chickens making an unusual amount of noise, and so I decided to come over here, and we investigated. And as we did, we found that there was a Cooper's hawk out here terrorizing these chicks, and they were all kegged up for the most part. The ones that had gotten out, they were all kegged up over here in this wall of comfrey, and so we spooked that Cooper's hawk off. But yeah, that's one of the first times we've actually had an aerial predator attack in this yard. We've been very fortunate due to all this canopy and places that the chickens can seek refuge. We've been pretty lucky in not losing any. And at this point, that Cooper's hawk didn't make his way off with any of our young chicks. Had a number of people ask almost in every video, like, hey, what's up with all these egg crates? As you can see, these chickens, they like to put their breast up against something, and then they'll start to dig. And so one of the things that these do for me is they just keep them off the fence line, so that I don't ever have to worry about them digging underneath the fence and you know, weakening the fence infrastructure that I have in place here. But they're also used for, you know, movable barriers. It's obviously a way that I can easily adjust where I've placed, you know, different compost that's in different phases of, you know, its development. Let me see if I can slide in here and let you see this chicken. Here she goes. You can see her in there. Should be able to see her. Yeah, it's worked out really well. I'm very happy with how that is keeping these chickens hydrated. You know, the problem that we had with this type of system, this type of watering system, is just that the water really does get quite gross and disgusting before, you know, they are able to consume it. But again, it's something that we're going to keep for a backup. Here's the compost, what it looks like when it comes out of the yard in the raw form. It's a lot of heavier material in here, but it works really well for just coming over the top and top dressing around, for instance, these trees where I'm going to be placing it around on top of the mulch ring. Now, I've already come through and given all these trees a shot of alfalfa pellets. And here you can see some of the alfalfa pellets here that didn't quite get covered up well enough. But need to obviously cover those up so that deer and rabbits don't come in here and start eating it like it's their food. I'm going to come over the top and treat all of these trees down this line. Those trees out there have already been treated with the compost. In addition to being compost, it's also you know, mulch, because the compost that I make out of the yard, a good basis of where it originates from is wood chips right out of this pile right over here. Here's a couple of those products that I've used to get these chickens to stop pecking one another. This first one, no picking. Doesn't work nearly as well, in my opinion, as this one here that says Pick No More. The Pick No More is essentially kind of like a thicker lotion. The No Pickin' is kind of a watery type deal, and it doesn't last nearly as long. Please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.